What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PUNISH3R'S podcast on YouTube. It's your boy Jamie Nazario, a.k.a. Tito Rivera, a.k.a. The Punisher on YouTube, a.k.a. Let's be honest, man, I'm having a great day. I'm having a great Sunday before Memorial Day. I got some streaming in. I got to watch AEW from last night, which hopefully we'll get into later on in the show. I'm having a great day. And I want to start off with this. The Toronto Raptors managed to knock off the Milwaukee Bucks. Something I called. I said it would happen at the beginning of the playoffs. I said the finals will go between Toronto and Houston. Houston didn't get there, but Toronto did. I called that. I wanted to be very, very clear that I called that. I was the one who said that. Me. But it's fine. You know. Not only that, we also had as I mentioned, I apologize, AEW. That was an exciting event. Very, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, Dustin versus Cody was a match of the night. I mean, you cannot tell me that Dustin and Cody did not have the match of the night. Because they did. They definitely had the match of the night. And here's the best thing. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna talk about the NBA first, and then from there transition, because everything's on TNT now. TNT is the brand to beat. On TNT, we had Kawhi Leonard, who dropped 27. And we had Fred VanVleet, who dropped a couple threes. So, you know, it was definitely an exciting time. But then you saw, I think it was Kawhi Leonard who was on the line, and there was an advertisement for Double or Nothing in the corner of the screen, which was pretty cool. Double or Nothing was a great event. It had a great starting matchup, or a great opening matchup, I apologize, between SCU, the SoCal Uncensored, and the Strong Hearts. I really enjoyed that match. Great, you know, high-flying match. There was a guy on Strong Hearts. There's a dude that was only wearing the trunks and the short boots. Somebody teach that man how to sell, please. The man was not selling at all. Other than that, it was a pretty good match. I didn't really catch much else just because I basically just went through the event. I wanted to see the major matches. I saw Cody and Dustin, as I mentioned. That was the match of the night, in my opinion. You cannot tell me that championship, the AEW championship, is not beautiful. In my opinion, it is the fourth most beautiful looking title. Because you have to take into consideration the Winged Eagle belt. You have the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And you have the ECW, the original ECW World Championship. I guess you could kind of throw into the Ring of Honor Championship, but I think the AEW title is a lot prettier, rather. That's my opinion. JR did an exceptional job in commentary. JR, you know, he's just one of the best commentators of all time. There's no doubt about that. But because I'm on the topic of wrestling, I want to get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say that I am a professional wrestling savant, I mean it. I've been watching wrestling since I was 4 years old, and I'm currently 20, almost 21. So that's 16 to 17 years of professional wrestling in my life. And if you hear the screaming in the background, I apologize. I have neighbors. I want to make it very, very clear. If you're going to argue with me about something, I want you to have your facts straight. So, I'm going to call out a couple people right now because people were arguing with me on Twitter this past week. Rel Lauren on Twitter, at Rel_Lauren. Rel near Wolfcastle told me on Twitter, and this is a specific quote. Time out because I'm trying to pop it up. My tablet's a little bit slow. I don't know if he deleted his tweet. No, he said, quote, my quote was, because this website, NoDQ.com, posted on their Twitter, shout out to NoDQ, Ryback opens up about the struggles of WWE's touring schedule. I retweeted that, saying that I'm getting tired of Ryback being seen as a credible source of wrestling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind, I understand that the man was under contract with WWE. I get that completely. But you have to take this into consideration, ladies and gentlemen. When you're talking about Ryback, you have to understand that this is a man who has said some just incredibly abrasive and misleading. He's had misleading comments after his departure from WWE in 2016. After his departure from WWE in 2016. Now, right now, I am on Ryback's Wikipedia page. Currently on Ryback's Wikipedia page. Here's the thing, because I want to let you guys know what Mr. What is it, Rel? And I apologize, Mr. Relnier says, how is he not? He actually wrestled for the biggest promotion in the world and was one of the biggest acts at one point. I'd like to think he has more insight than you, I, or NoDQ.com. If you're going to argue with me, you better have facts to back yourself up. And Relnier, if you do listen to this podcast, I want you to know that this is not a personal attack on you, because I'm not personally attacking you, because I don't know you personally. However, I'm going to have to get at you a little bit. Because, and here's the thing. Ryback, as it says here on his Wikipedia page, he debuted in 2004 in professional wrestling. Now, I'm under the professional wrestling career section of Ryback's Wikipedia page. First of all, you can't say that one of the biggest acts in wrestling was called Skip Sheffield. Skip Sheffield. What kind of name is that? What kind of name is that? Skip Sheffield. Ladies out there, if your husband was called Skip Sheffield, would you have if your boyfriend was called Skip Sheffield, if the guy you saw at the fair or on the street, if you walked up to him and he said, "Hey, yo, what's up? I'm Skip Sheffield," you would be like, "Hell no, I don't like your name." Skip Sheffield to start. Now, keep in mind what Relnier said. He said that Ryback was one of the biggest acts in wrestling. Ryback was suspended for 30 days in September of 2006. So I guess he began his professional career in WWE in 2004 when he wasn't tough enough. Okay, cool. Then he went to the developmental, where he was in Ohio Valley Wrestling. He was in NXT, I know that. So, in 2008, it says here that Ryback was using that ring name and character in FCW, which was Florida Championship Wrestling, formerly NXT was formerly known as FCW, and then FCW became NXT. Where he became... He unsuccessfully challenged for the Florida Tag Team Championship on a few occasions with Sheamus. Sheamus is a great tag team champion, one of the better tag team champions of this current era. And then he went into Skip Sheffield. Now, he was in the Nexus. Keep in mind, this is 2010. So you're talking to me that Ryback, Skip Sheffield, Ryan Reeves was on the main roster from 2010 through 2016. Let's take a look at a couple of notable things that Ryan Reeves, Ryback, did during his run. 2010, the Nexus. Okay, but was he over or was the group over? Because you can't tell me that he was one of the hottest acts in wrestling when it was the group that was over. It wasn't just him. It was Wade Barrett. It was Heath Slater. It was Justin Gabriel. It was Skip Sheffield. It was what was his name? Michael Tarver, who got injured. It was Darren Young. It was all them boys. And then what happens? He rebrands. In 2012, comes back as Ryback, Feed Me More, the whole thing. 2012 to 2013, he pursued the WWE Championship a couple times. Okay, cool. How many WWE championship matches did he have? I think he had one or two. He had one or two matches for the WWE Championship. He never won the title from CM Punk, who was the champion at the time. Now, keep in mind, and I want to talk you through every single thing that happened because, as I said, I'm a professional wrestling savant. And I kept in touch with what was going on in WWE. I watched. I was a big fan. In 2010, do you know what was going on in 2010 in WWE apart from the Nexus? You had The Undertaker and Shawn freaking Michaels at WrestleMania that year. But this was before SummerSlam, so I'll let that pass. John Cena was still one of the biggest acts in wrestling. CM Punk was on the come up. You still had Triple H out there. Triple H was one of the better wrestlers of 2010. I apologize for that. My pen fell. I mean, for crying out loud, Bret Hart came back in 2010 to wrestle Vince McMahon. Bret Hart, I don't know if he was or if he wasn't because I don't recall at the specific moment, but he was involved in that Nexus angle in 2010. And okay, yeah, the Nexus was one of the hotter acts of 2010. I'll give you that. That's fine. What happened in 2011? Ryan Reeves, Ryback, got injured. Okay, what was going on in 2011? Oh, I don't know. This dude called CM Punk became the hottest act in professional wrestling at that time. Daniel Bryan was on the come up. John Cena was still on the roster. Randy Orton was still on the roster. Hell, Edge, I think, was still on the roster. I believe 2012 was when he did retire, I believe. And Ryback, what was Ryback doing? I mean, he was a member of the Core, I believe, which did nothing. Because they didn't do anything on SmackDown, as far as I know. Hell, I bet people don't even know that the Core was a thing with Wade Barrett. I'm willing to bet people don't even remember the Core was a thing. With your 2 R's, Ryan Reeves. But like I said, this is to get on Rel near a little bit. Rel_Lauren on Twitter. Then we get into 2012 and 2013. When Ryback is challenging for the WWE Championship. Did you know that this group of 3 guys debuted in 2012 against Ryback? And immediately they were hotter than him in the Shield. CM Punk was the best heel that company had with Paul Heyman. Triple H was doing Triple H things as COO and wrestler. The Miz and R-Truth had a funny little thing called the Awesome Truth going. And then you got 2013. And what was going on in 2013? Daniel Bryan was a world champion. CM Punk started off the year as world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind, 2012 and 2013, actually 2011 through 2013, John Cena and The Rock were having their rivalry. Which, by the way, WrestleMania 28 had one of the biggest buy rates in WWE history, pay-per-view history. But you want to come up here telling me that Ryback was one of the biggest things in wrestling? Absolutely not. And then you got Daniel Bryan, who was bigger than him. The Undertaker's forever going to be bigger than him. The Shield became bigger than him. John Cena was still bigger than him. Hell, Brock Lesnar, who came in 2013, 2014, 2012 through 2014, and during that era, he was hotter than Ryback. They put Ryback with Paul Heyman, and still Ryback couldn't be a hot commodity. Still. 2015, Ryback is a babyface again. They team him up with John Cena. Forget it. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are the biggest things in wrestling. Roman Reigns is doing things that Roman Reigns does. John Cena's fighting the Authority. Where the hell is Ryback? I think that Eric Rowan as a babyface was a lot more interesting than Ryback, to be honest with you. Because I don't remember what caused the Wyatt family to split, but there was a point in time where Eric Rowan was a babyface. I remember that. You can't argue with me that Ryback was one of the biggest things in wrestling, where I'm giving you facts that all these things were bigger than him in wrestling. On top of that, what did Ryback do that was that caught any attention. Notoriety, I believe is the word. What did Ryback do? He had a catchphrase, 3 simple words. Feed me more. Okay, that's cool. He looked like a big, meaty guy. Fine, he draws some attention. Does that make him one of the biggest acts in wrestling? Because hell, if that's the case, being a big, meaty guy and having a 3 simple word catchphrase. But that's beside the point. You can't argue Ryback with me. You can't. You can't. Moving on from that point, because I believe that I made my case. Relnier, if you want to listen to the podcast and respond on Twitter, feel free to do so. Like I said, this is not a personal attack on you, because I personally don't know you. This is just me getting on you a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about these playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to see Toronto in the finals. Their first ever finals. Against Golden State, who's going to their 5th straight. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players in the world. At this moment, right now, he is the best player in the world. I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard, the same Kawhi Leonard that averaged 30. He's the best player in the world. Right now, because Kevin Durant is injured, Steph Curry's been in and out these playoffs. Klay Thompson, there was an APB out for Klay Thompson, according to Stephen A. on ESPN. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players, and at this moment, this exact second, he is the best player in the world. And nobody can refute that. And I really hope that he can lead the Toronto Raptors to an NBA championship. Their very first NBA championship. When you think about the Toronto Raptors, you think of all the stars that they've had. Maybe superstars. Think of most recently stars like DeMar DeRozan. Jonas Valanciunas, who was their center, was there. Before they traded him for Marc Gasol. They got Kyle Lowry at the moment. They had Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. T-Mac. It's the Toronto Raptors' time, ladies and gentlemen. I am picking the Toronto Raptors to win the NBA championship. Once again, me, today, May 26th, I apologize. Sunday, May 26th. I am picking the Toronto Raptors to win the championship, to win it all. Quite excited, I'm not gonna lie. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening today. Sometime this week, I am expecting to do another podcast. Stay tuned for that. About the discrepancies in minority communities. That is a topic that my beautiful girlfriend is completely invested in, and I'm really hoping to convince her to get on an episode with me to talk about that, her experiences, my experiences, and so on and so forth. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys liked about the podcast. It was a really, darn it. It was a really, really wrestling-centric podcast considering AEW and Ryback. But congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. I need to say that. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. More streams are going to be coming out soon. A lot more podcasting to be done. And I want to thank each and every one of you who listen to the podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you who takes the time to understand what I'm saying. And I really, really hope you guys have a great day. Peace out, everybody.